Yeah, that's it. Okay, so we can
Yeah.
start.
I'm
So
doing a minutes. So add your name. I can see a few of you.
Okay, yeah, minutes.
Let me put minutes to the Zoom. Oh. Yeah.
okay. So you've got you have the minutes here?
Yeah, in the chat.
Okay, I've got it. Right. So I'm a bit let me write. So there was a lot of work performed by Jan, who is not there right now. I'm not sure he will be available to come to the meeting. Anyway, so he did a lot of stuff in the repository, and overcame and add some content as well. So I think Buaki did some stuff, and the same for Emmanuel, from what I know. So right now, the result of the repository. So if everybody is not aware, the repository is in the SmallRye organization. It's the SmallRye LLM project. I'll try to find the link at the same time. And right now we have a project working against MicroProfile 6.1. So it's not 7 compliant right now. We didn't launch test on 7, to be honest. And it works on OpenLiberty, and it was tested on Quarkus, of course, and there are some starting of test on Pyara, if I'm not mistaken. And there was also a lot of tests on Jakarta EE, performed by Emmanuel through Wildfly, and I think Jan did some tests on Glassfish as well. So we are working on a SmallRye version compatible with Jakarta EE and MicroProfile at the same time.
I cannot see
Okay.
the thing, the GitHub repo mention anything Wildfly, OpenLiberty. I can only see Quarkus and Glassfish. So where was the change committed? Command.
Wait, for what? Well, I'm not working on
OpenLiberty and Wildfly.
I'm not working on Wildfly, but OpenLiberty is on branch 20.
So
Yeah,
it's not on the main.
No, it's not on main. Because
it's not on main, it's still in discussion.
Yeah, because Emmanuel said I should open an issue probably with OpenLiberty to try and create a new feature for that, which I did. But yeah, but I put it on a separate branch so that I do not break main. And main is just basically all the extensions that and all the examples that has been there already. So
what do you mean open a feature on OpenLiberty?
well, where is my chat on Slack? So according to OpenLiberty, if you want to create a new feature or whatever, you have to open an issue, which I did.
No. If you basically you can create a user feature. So it's So basically, for demonstrate this work, it's ideal to open a user feature. I think you did
Yeah,
open a user feature, right? You don't need to make an Open Liberty to do anything. You just handle yourself.
okay, because it's on branch 20. It says that's the user feature.
Yeah, it's a branch 20. Branch 20. Branch 20, I cannot see anything Open Liberty though.
Wait.
In branch
Uh,
20,
Oh,
they
okay.
are.
Liberty bundle.
Liberty
I see.
feature. So it's Liberty feature branch.
Okay, I see. I mean the code. Okay,
Yeah, it's not in
saw
the main branch.
I
yeah.
saw the directory Liberty bundle. I think you can go ahead to commit this Liberty bundle to the example here. Basically, you basically package this together with the example here. Will be fine.
Okay.
So basically in the example, under the example folder, so you can create another folder, the Liberty user feature. And then in the small LLM launching 4G Liberty, basically you don't need to do that. Actually, it looks like you only for the Liberty bundle, you just create a user feature. You just commit this one to the example. And then the example you enable that to run against Open Liberty. Is that what you are trying to do?
Oh, I get it. So I take an example and then I make it work for Open Liberty. And
Yes.
then, yes. Okay, I can do that.
You just declare the dependency on this Liberty bundle would be fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that. But yeah, that was the feature I was working on last week.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
I'm not doing Wildfly. I haven't touched Wildfly in years, so I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think Emmanuel is doing that. Emmanuel, right?
Yeah, Emmanuel is working on Wi-Fi part. And
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, Emmanuel, but you plan to have a part specific to Wi-Fi outside in the Wi-Fi extra repository. That's it?
Yeah, the idea was to provision it and to provide it as a Wi-Fi community effort. That's why it's in Wi-Fi extra, not the Wi-Fi team project. It's for the community projects.
So that's really good. So that means kind of it works with Glassfish, Liberty, Helidon, Quarkus, and Wildfly. Yeah, Quarkus
Yeah.
and Wild. It's pretty much most of the vendors support.
Yeah.
The only thing is the Glassfish doesn't support a MicroProfile, does it?
No, Payara does.
Yeah.
No.
Is that so? Why we put a Glassfish there then?
I think it's Jan that did the Glassfish part because he is how to say, he is in the ancient vision of having Glassfish as the reference implementation for Jakarta EE. So he started for the Glassfish integration, and it was very straightforward from what I understood.
That's interesting because I thought we will use MicroProfile config unless he package the small right config with the app. I don't think it will work.
I think we should add kind of abstraction to make sure that we follow the MicroProfile config specification and not the small right one.
Yeah, and the other thing is I would rather not to mention Glassfish because Glassfish is not even enter the MicroProfile area. We would rather focus on Payara.
Yeah,
so
but that's the same for Wi-Fi. It's not.
No. Wildfly follows MicroProfile.
Yeah,
Wildfly support.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So we can correct that. You can open an issue on that if you want to discuss that point,
Okay.
specific point. So
Yeah.
regarding the implementation, so right now we have something that allow us to build a kind of naive RAG, something very simple at the RAG level, and a chatbot. Now the next step that we discussed between us was to perhaps analyze the amount of work to start getting rid of Langchain 4J and start to follow the same strategy that Spring AI followed to build our own implementation to consume the LLM and start with the OpenAI. So the idea would be to keep the Langchain 4G integration, but step by step, build something in parallel to be able to get rid of it. Why? Because we have a lot of small issue with Langchain 4J. The first one is that it's stuck in Java 8. And the second one is that it brings a lot of strange dependency that are very cumbersome when you want to do the integration. You have to exclude a lot of stuff and re-include them. So after discussing with Riken that worked a lot on Spring AI, it seemed that starting to create a kind of abstraction with a kind of REST client above OpenAI API could be a good idea. And in the meantime, it seems that the OpenAI API is starting to become the de facto standard to consume all of our LLM around the place. So if we follow this, how to say, this standard, it should work for most of LLM, for most existing LLM. So that was the path that we discussed and that we want to follow. But I'm a bit worried the fact that Jan is not here because it would be better to to explain this. So that's the current status of the project. It's working, but we are not very happy with the Langchain 4J integration right now. And there are a lot of little stuff to add to the project regarding the CI and more engineering part of the project that should be done. And there are a few issues that can be given to people that wanted to start working on the project. So if you look at the issue, there are 5 of them. So it's the starting point because we discussed that on the Friday. So there are most of them are very very recent. So we have to list them and make sure it's relevant and we have all the meaningful issue in the list. And it could be a starting point to have a third party, to have other contributors coming to the project because the problem was that it was very how to say, very close club to the specification. People not following our meeting wouldn't be able to contribute. So the idea is to open the contribution to a lot of people, and we have to organize all the issue and stuff like that. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I was going to bring this up anyway. There's since I think early this year in March, there's another framework, not Langchain 4G, is also the Java, kind of the offer alternative to Langchain 4G. Suddenly, just last week I was looking at it. Suddenly, I just
Okay.
couldn't find the library name. Does anybody know the current like the new one? Okay, so like if not, I will just follow it up and so get
give us the name after that.
yeah, so get some inspiration from that. And I think it's kind of if like in MicroProfile, so basically we either establish our own framework, or if there's a spec available, we embrace the spec. However, for launching, if it's feel like it's stagnated and there's no point for us to build on top of it. And at least we learn something from it. If it's connecting with the LLM, is not basically that complicated. I think it's the only complication is a chat service. So basically, we could basically get inspiration from launching 4G to see which method and which interface makes more sense. We can basically get some kind of stand on top of it and improve it, and we can freely borrow their method, etc., and then go with it.
So we followed, as I said, we followed the same ID, and we found that it could be even better to follow the ID of the Spring AI team. We start a discussion with them, and perhaps we can mix both follow Langchain 4J and Spring AI, because they did a lot of nice work around the integration of LLM without using Langchain 4J, avoiding all the cumbersome of the.
Yes, that sounds great idea. So Antoine, do you think you could get us? Do you work with somebody from Spring AI?
Riken, that work on Spring AI and on Small AI LLM, is discussing with them to make sure that they don't see any issue with the fact that we borrow some ID they implemented in their framework, and it seems that it should be okay. But I don't have feedback right now. It was discussed last week between two contributions, so it's not yet completely okay, but it should be okay in the coming days. Normally, I hope so.
Okay, so
I don't see them raising a red flag on that, but perhaps it could be the case.
Yeah. So anyway, the open source, if they are on Apache license, they cannot really prevent from
that's
being...
exactly what I said, but I prefer to have them on the friendly side than getting their ideas like that.
Yeah, it's even better if they collaborate with us and come. Do you think we could also get someone to join our call to basically future course and to work together for the API? Maybe they could even implement our API.
Yeah. Why not?
So that would be great. So in this case, do you think is kind of who will just do this sketch out what an API will be like?
I think it's too soon to discuss about that. I think we should start organizing the work now that we have a starting point on the framework. It's time to start having issue and discussion on the issue. And one of the issue would be designing a more more abstract API and a more open API compliant API. OpenAI compliant API, sorry. So having the discussion in an asynchronous way in an issue could be a good starting point, in my opinion.
Yeah. So
and after that, bringing people on the discussion here. Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason I'm asking is that we could have a couple plans. If we can start the conversation, etc., on MicroProfile level, maybe I don't know, is what the team feel now is a good time, to appropriate time to basically propose spec creation. So basically, do we think we are in that position yet, or we want a more kind of
I think it's
prep?
too soon for this. I think
Okay.
it's too soon for the spec.
Okay, so that's fine.
I didn't check with everybody, but I think that we should be able to have something, to have a framework allowing us to create a complete RAG, a modern RAG with multiple LLM chained, and have some, how to say, have some tools to do all the metrics, because it's important to gather the metrics to make sure that we don't burn all the token and all the money using the LLM. So having something be able to show the usage, and after that, when we have all these features, it would be a starting point to say, okay, now let's think about a real MicroProfile API. And if we did the work as it should be, we should have the abstraction layer that would be the starting point of this specification. You know, so we will add in the work in progress, we'll add SPI, API, etc. And in the end, it should be rather simple to get this layer that will change a lot in the process. And when it will be mature, get it, and okay, it's the starting point for the specification. And it will be okay, because we'll have done a lot of testing and build a small application with it, etc. So it will be tested against real use case and not coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think it's kind of we need to find like appropriate point to have the spec proposed. It's not like we have to do everything here and we nearly finish and then go there. So basically, we are not just like spend the ages on this sandbox. So it's I think it's once we have a layout, so roughly what we are going to build, I think is we can go ahead to create the spec. I think it's better from the kind of the external point of view. People working on the specification.
I think we lack 3 points to go for a spec right now. The first point is to have something cleaner about the chunking and ingestion of the document for the RAG. The other point is to have something nice for the chaining of LLM, if you want to add moderation model, etc. And the last point is all the metrics. So if we when we'll have all those, we can start to say, okay, we have all the different aspects of or not all, but most of the aspect to build a RAG, because it's the main use case for MicroProfile. We agree on that. So we can start adding the API on that. So I think it should be okay at it's a matter of months. So it should be okay at the beginning of 2025.
I think it's probably if we could do a kind of creation review, basically the ballot this year, that would be a kind of the better, because we have been doing this. However, for that is merely just to say, okay, we want to put these things seriously. We want is not in no I mean connection with when we can release it. We're just saying, okay, we are committed to have this specification. It looks better from like our program plan point of view. Actually, this year, because we said this year we are going to do some innovation. But if it's nothing happening right there in MicroProfile org, so we pretty much
Okay, so
like
the other solution is to start with only a partial specification, and not to cover all the aspects, because if we start covering aspects that were not totally tested,
we
will,
don't need to cover that. We
yeah.
This is kind of we only say, okay, MicroProfile, we want to do some AI aspect, and we want to propose APIs for the basically easier to create a chat and plug in your rack. And we can also say, okay, we might provide a metrics. So we don't even need to come up with technical details about how. We just saying, okay, this is our plan. So that's why it's basically creation review. And then once that's done, basically we can have a spec project created, and then we can open issues and track the issues, and we
Okay.
can get a lot more people involved.
Okay. Can you give us some more insight on the creation review process? Do we need to provide documents,
So,
etc.?
Yeah. So basically there's a template for the creation review.
Okay.
I will basically talk about that maybe next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I will
It's a good
put on
idea.
the Slack. As well.
Okay.
So next week we can discuss and to work on the doc. At the same time is work out like some other technical things. Once we have this doc filled in, we could even like take a kind of a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, and then aim to get this doc done in September. In October, we can just say open up for vote. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about November right now.
Yeah. It could be done in October, you know. Could be everything sorted by November, because the voting will take a couple of weeks as well. And once it's kind of, we need to get the things that people are aware of this, and then have discussion, and then it's kind of the, yeah. If we want to get things done in November, we have to get things out in October.
Okay.
Okay,
Got
sounds
it.
good. Yeah, and then yeah, it's great. We got what to do next week as well.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay then.
guys.
Yeah, talk to you next week. Bye.
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 Yes, guys.